A woman cheats on this man with his best friend, unaware that he is a professional assassin. Wesley Gibson is a typical office worker who can no longer stand his mediocre life. His boss devours cakes as if it's a competition, and his co-workers act like she's Mother Teresa just because it's her birthday. As if that weren't enough, Wesley discovers that his girlfriend is cheating on him with none other than his best friend. Reflecting on how his father disappeared when he was only 7 days old, Wesley wonders what kind of man he was. The answer comes like a bullet, literally. Cutting to a scene of his father, the mysterious Mr. X. He arrives at a building to discuss tracking a bullet with a woman, but before they can get into details, she's killed by a sniper. Mr. X activates a bizarre superpower, runs at incredible speed, and takes out enemies on the rooftop with a curved bullet move reminiscent of the Matrix. But in the end, Cross, another assassin, kills him with a single shot. Back to Wesley's miserable life, his girlfriend is complaining about the noise of trains, but he just wants a moment of silence. After another round of humiliation at work, he decides to buy anxiety meds but instead meets Fox, a badass woman who reveals that his father was the greatest assassin of all time and was killed by Cross, who conveniently shows up to try and kill Wesley too. Amid screaming, gunfire, and an insane car chase, Fox saves Wesley and takes him to meet the fraternity of assassins. There, the leader Sloan welcomes him and explains that his anxiety is actually a special ability that makes him faster and more lethal than any ordinary human. Wesley thinks it's all insane, rightfully so, but seeing $3 million in his bank account the next day changes his perspective. At that moment, he stands up to his unbearable boss, smashes a keyboard into his cheating friend's face, and leaves the office like a hero. Arriving at the fraternity's base, Wesley learns the place is a textile mill that also churns out premium tailored killings. Sloan and Fox put Wesley through brutal training, involving knives, shooting real corpses, and even learning to curve bullets, a skill he initially finds as plausible as walking through walls. Things escalate when Fox pushes him into a moving train, forcing him to fight for survival. After many failures and a dip in white healing goo, Wesley starts transforming into a killing machine. He learns more about his father and finds out that Cross, the story's villain, was responsible for his death. This ignites in Wesley a thirst for revenge that no weapon could quench. As his training progresses, Wesley overcomes all challenges, from catching a flying capsule inside a weaving machine to defeating the Butcher in combat. His final test is curving a bullet around Fox. In a let's see if you're man enough moment, she stands in the line of fire. Wesley, finally at peace with his destiny as an assassin, hits the target. With that, he's officially accepted into the fraternity. Fun fact, Angelina Jolie, who plays Fox, performed many of her stunts without doubles. And did you know the curved bullet scenes were inspired by real physics techniques, with a touch of Hollywood exaggeration? One thing I wouldn't do in the story is run on top of a moving train. Seriously, Wesley, were you ready for that? On the other hand, I'd definitely quit my job the way he did, because who hasn't dreamed of using a keyboard to drop some hard truths? A fascinating moment in the story is how Wesley evolves from a nobody into a total badass, showing that sometimes you need to face your fears to discover your true potential. But let's continue with the story. Sloan reveals the fraternity's biggest secret, a stylish fabric woven with a code that reveals targets' names. Wesley, curious, asks where the names come from, but Sloan, like a good mysterious leader, brushes him off and hands him his first mission. During a daring rooftop train escapade, Wesley prepares to kill his target but hesitates and starts questioning the morality of his job. Fox, with the subtlety of a drill sergeant, shares the story of a man who killed an entire family because a fraternity member failed their mission. The moral? Don't question, just obey. With a clear conscience, Wesley pulls the trigger without hesitation and, fueled by his new hobby, takes on more missions. On one such mission, he chases a target in an armored limo. With some help from Fox, he performs a questionable maneuver, flipping the car and shooting through its sunroof. After a hectic day, he returns home to find his best friend Barry with his girlfriend. Wesley storms in, silences his ex with a kiss, and immediately finds himself in a shootout with Cross, the final boss. After a chase, Cross disappears, leaving behind a traceable bullet that leads Wesley to Moravia, where he starts searching for answers. In Moravia, Wesley finds Cross's armorer, who sets up a meeting between them. But, of course, it's a trap. Wesley ends up in a gunfight with Cross on a runaway train that, predictably, plunges off a cliff. Fox tries to help, but Wesley shoots Cross before realizing he is his father. Before dying, Cross reveals the truth. Fox confirms this, and in a bold move, she breaks the glass and throws Wesley into the water. Recovering in a secret location, Wesley learns that Cross was always protecting him while Sloan manipulated the fraternity for profit. An interesting twist: the magical fabric of coded targets? Sloan had been weaving his own agenda. On a mission for revenge, Wesley attacks the fraternity's base with explosive rats. He infiltrates the textile mill in a garbage truck, taking out enemies with surgical precision. The final showdown with Sloan is dramatic, revealing that all fraternity members were on the kill list. Fox, in a moment of loyalty to the old ideology, fires a magic bullet that tours the room, killing everyone, including herself. Wesley sets out to find Sloan, but the villain vanishes in classic dramatic fashion. Weeks later, Sloan tries a comeback but is eliminated by Wesley. The final scene features an epic long-distance shot. One thing I wouldn't have done is shoot my father on a train about to plunge off a cliff. But now, here's a video where I recap a movie about a father abandoned by his wife, raising his daughter and dealing with life's challenges. See you there, and take care.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect.